Welcome. In today's video, I'll be sharing some of the lessons learned from today's blind box drop and how you can use those in the future to help you with future drops. So I'm going to be sharing my screen first of all and looking at the recent drop that was today, which was around the Marvel Mighty Eternals. So a couple of things to note: this is a blind box drop. So what does a blind box drop means? It means you pay, in this case, 13 gems, and it's completely random as to what you actually get. There's different types of rarity, and the common one has the most additions, right away down to the ultra rare. I'll give you an example down the bottom here, which has the fewest additions there. So you don't know which one you'll be getting. You could be getting one of the commons that has over 18,000 additions, or one of the ultra rares that has 3,500 additions. But either way, the price you're paying is set there at a drop of 13 gems for this particular one. So why is that important? Well, it basically means it's almost like a gamble at this point. So I do want to stress, this is just my opinion, it's not financial advice. But the way I think about this is almost like buying a lottery ticket. You spend your gems, you get a ticket, and if you're lucky enough to get an ultra rare, a rare, or perhaps even an uncommon, you will make potentially back more money, more gems than what you paid for it. However, the downside is, if you don't have one of those winning tickets that gives you a ultra rare, or uncommon, if you end up with just a common, often what can happen is the common actually sells for less than what the actual cost of the blind box drop was. And the reason for that is people are treating it like a lottery, like a gamble. They're spending the gems and hoping for an ultra rare, or uncommon. If you don't get that, they're trying to sell quickly and fast and move on to the next blind box drop, which means often they'll sell for less than what they paid for it just to get the gems back out as much as they can and move on. And why you find this particularly challenging if you're new to VEVE is if you look back at the drops here, go back up to one of the commons, you see because there's so many commons coming out, so in this particular, this is one of the largest drops across all 10 collectibles first drop. You're talking about 109,000 drops, and for each common, there's 3 commons, was 18,000, so that's quite a lot of commons coming out there. And unfortunately at the moment it can take a great deal of time for these collectibles to actually arrive into your account. I won't go into the technical aspect of it, but each one needs to be minted and authenticated and sent to your account. So at the time of recording, this is about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the drop, and I'm still waiting on my deliveries to arrive here. So what happens is, if people are lucky enough to get their collectibles soon after the drop, after the market opens, put them on straight away and try and sell for as much as they can to get their gems back out. And very quickly, as more and more people get access to their deliveries, they start selling them and the price can go down. So what you find is the price for the ultra rare can maybe go up, maybe go down, but it's always more than the price of the actual blind box. The commons, however, tend to sell for a lot less than the actual drop itself. We've seen this with Eternals, we've seen it with Hulk and other ones like that. So that blind box format really is a gamble. And what I'm going to do now is just to kind of show you and illustrate my point. And I'm going to switch over to my phone. So as you can see here, on my actual phone, we can see the prices here. So you see Phantos here as a common, and it's going for about 10.49, 11 gems there, which is less than the actual cost of buying the blind box. So right here, we can see, even without all the collectibles on the market yet, we're still getting people for selling less than what we paid for it, just to try and get the gems out before even more people start selling, as more people get access to their gems. So I'm just going to go in and just check to see what's available just now. It's got 11,894 of 18,000 remaining, so that means there's just about under 12,000 still to go out. So that means there's 12,000 people waiting for a delivery of this common, and the price is still under the 13 gems that was paid for it. See, I've got an addition, so I must have just got that as a recording. So quite happy with that there. It's a common. I will be holding on to it, and you can see the addition number there is very low mint, but not as low as it could be. But still, I'm quite happy for this. Personally, I'll be holding on to my commons just because for MCP points and the fact I don't want to sell for less than what I paid for it. But if I move up, go to a different one here. Let's take it. So Gilgamesh here is an ultra rare. You can see here it's going for about 220, 223 on the market. What that means is someone's paid 13 gems and they're selling it for 220 gems. So it's almost 20 times what they paid for it. And this will probably sell at some point, people have already been selling just now, but again, if I click into it and we actually see how many editions are actually out and available, we can see actually there's still 2,232 editions to go out. So what'll probably happen is over the next few hours, as more people get access to the collectibles, you'll actually maybe see this price go down as more people get access to it. So what this means for you is the time after a drop can be quite exciting, particularly if you've got a collectible you can either sell or hold on to, but also for picking things up. But be very careful. Again, this is stress, I'm not a financial advisor, but always wait to buy anything, particularly if it's commons or uncommons. I'll wait to see what the market does, wait for things to settle down, for it to come up with a kind of steady floor price. If it's a common, I would never pay more than the buying box cost for a common just now, simply because of as more people get access to it, particularly these bigger drops, the price of a common actually goes down below the buying box. Uncommons, be interested to see actually at the time of recording what an uncommon price is. Yeah, so 16-17 gems, it's a little bit more than the cost of itself, but bear in mind with the selling on the market with Marvel, there's an additional Marvel tax. You pay more on your listing there, so you'll get about 2% taken off for VEVE. I think another 6% taken off from Marvel itself, for about 8.5% in total. So do bear that in mind. If you sold something for 20 gems, you're not going to get those full 20 gems back. You'll get 8% taken off, and you'll get the remainder there. So do keep that in mind. This person probably selling here at 16 might just make a profit, but might not. So why is this important to earn these lessons? Well, we've got a lot of big drops coming up over the next week, with more Disney collectibles coming. So the next one tomorrow is the Simpsons collection. Now bear in mind this is going to be a blind box format again, this time at 60 gems. What you can see here, the common is the highest amount mints there of 12,333. It's a first appearance, and the rare 6,333, and that is of the skateboard, and this is a common here. So potentially both of these could be more than that blind box cost of 60 gems, but there's no way of knowing for sure. So if you are going to try and pick this up tomorrow, you could pick something up and find that the actual common sells for less than 60 gems. The rare probably will sell for more just because of the limited numbers, but again, because this is Disney and there's some utility here with the access to Disney Plus for 3 months, potentially you could see this common selling for more than that 60 gems. Now I can't predict what it would cost would be on a secondary market. Again, as things come onto the market, we're being small numbers to start with, so that tends to put the price up higher. As more people have access to the collectibles and sell things, the price can reduce, but you also may find that actually because there's such a high demand for these gold Disney collectibles, utility with Disney Plus, the Simpsons, this is the first Simpsons drop I believe on the app, you might find actually all the prices go up quite quickly. This is really important and something to bear in mind, is as people are looking to kind of get more gems for future drops, people will be selling to try and get those gems, and that will push the price down. So you might find is people will try and do a quick flip on these Simpsons collectibles or these Eternal collectibles, try and get gems for future drops, such as future Star Wars ones, the future Disney one with Walt and Mickey, etc. So what could happen here is you might see a spike in prices post drop, and very quickly people try to sell and undercut each other to get the gems back out for a future drop and kind of build up to that. So do please keep that in mind when looking at things on the market. I know it's tempting just to jump in and start buying and getting caught up in excitement, but really go in with some goals in mind, some prices, limits set on what you want to spend on different collectibles, and really think and plan out all the future drops coming over next week, what you're prioritising. If you've got 60 gems just to go for a buying box, if you don't get it, you're going to keep the gems for a future buying box or drop, or you're going to try to pick something up on the market, and how much you're willing to spend. All very important to keep in mind. I hope this has been helpful. If you do enjoy my videos, check out this video here for a competition to win a free NFT, or you can check out my latest video here. Thank you, and please do consider subscribing to the channel.